tagline was "Are child rights equally important as child duties?" And I think that's a very important thing, and it also helps. I have read articles people dealing depression through writing.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Hasini LakshmiNarayanan. If you're new here, this is the first step channel where that's me. I interview young achievers to inspire and give a short introduction about me. I'm Hasini, an 8th grader studying in Chennai, in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. I run an organization called The First Step, where we basically aim to motivate, inspire, and empower children. I'm a TED speaker and also a freelance writer to the school lifestyle. So that's pretty much about me. And without further delay, let's welcome our guest for the day, Dhanvi. So talking about Dhanvi, she's a very, very cool friend of mine, very informal, cute, and also she's a core member of the First Step, which I'm very, very happy to share. Now, giving a formal introduction about her, she is the founder of We Love Writing organization, which basically aims to help beginners who are very much interested in writing, which help them a lot. And she also runs a podcast which involves experienced people coming in and talking, spreading some motivation, spreading some advice for children, for youth who really need for it. Thirdly, she is a writer for TOI, Times of India, which is a huge platform, and her works are amazingly great. And also, she's a green ambassador. So we have a lot of similarities as we work on the same field. Also, it's just that I'm very excited and curious. So without further delay, let's move on to the interview. Being the founder of a global community of writers, which is named We Love Writing, right? When did this organization start? How does it work? Why did you particularly want to start it? And why did you especially choose the field of writing? I just have so many questions to ask. So yeah, I'll leave it over to you to answer.
Okay, so I started this last year in 2020, November of 2020, I believe. And the main reason why I started this is to critique others' work, is to give good feedback to writers, because when you are just getting started into writing, you have to have feedback to improve your writing or to change the style. And more importantly, it's for a genre. Like, you have to choose the genre you are interested in writing, and that comes when others tell you what you're best at writing, what genre you're best at writing. So a lot of times you don't find someone who is very invested into reading your writing, and that, as I said, doesn't make you a bad writer, but it's just that the other person is not interested in reading at all. So if you don't get feedback, you are not even like a good writer, I would say. Yeah, a little bit harsh, but and the reason why I started this global community is to give feedback, which is a very essential thing that every writer would require as they just kickstart their writing journey. And I in general like to build communities, and I love to work in a community. So that is why it's one of the reasons I started this. And I like to have a group around everything I do, be that music, be that writing, anything basically.
Yeah. Right. So I really appreciate you from your point of view, right? Before I can actually sum up the question, I have another question popping out right away. See, I usually believe on this. Whenever you experienced into something, that's when you want to start something beneficial. So definitely you would have got a lot of feedbacks, which might have been helpful, or you might have longed for some feedbacks. Why aren't even people responding? Would it even be helpful for me? So talk about that experience, and I'm pretty sure that's there's got to be a reason why you wanted to start such a particular organization with your very own experience, right? So share about that.
Okay, I try not to be very biased into, like pointing out that people were not interested in reading my stuff. It's not that they were not completely interested, but it's just that I was pretty shy because, I knew these people, and I think it's an emotional factor of just giving others your writing, because you may feel shy, or you may feel like not sharing your work because they're a relative or they're someone you know, and they may give it an example in a family conversation or something like that. So if you don't know someone in person, you're more likely to give them what you really think in a very structured way. That's like called constructive criticism. And that comes when you don't know a person. When you know a person, you just say like, it's cool, it's not good, or something like that. And that's not the best thing you can do when someone gives your writing, their writing to you. Because if somebody is showing you what they've written, it's not just for appreciation. They also want to grow, and that is one of the sole reasons why they're giving their writing to you. And I started this just because I was I was interested in teaching since the beginning, and I also like to talk, and I'm a very talkative person in general. So that is why I built this community. And then I found a pin in Pinterest, like a comment in that said that there was this classroom where you can share their work related to art. So art and writing are all forms of theater and art. They're almost the same thing, like, yeah, because they're art is visual representation of what's in your mind, and writing is more a literature or a comprehensive representation of what you have in your mind. So if people could share their art to people, why not people share writing to their people? And I think that is why I started this community, and that is what got me an idea of starting this.
Okay. See, this does not only happen in the field of writing. It happens in general as well. Yeah, tell us about your venture of being a writer for TOI, Times of India.
So I used to write for the physical edition of Times of India in 6th grade, but then from 7th grade, the pandemic hit, and they were not issuing the physical edition. So, and they instead started a website for writing. It's called indiatimes.timesofindia.com. You can write for that if you're interested. You just have to send in your work to them, I believe, like below 250 words or something. The word counts that. And personally, it was actually very, very random. We used to get Times of India newspaper in our school, and I saw that a whole section of the newspaper was about children writing about articles. The students writing, and the school names were coming in below their name. So I thought, like, why not me? Because I used to write short stories and poems, and I used to write letters for especially Mother's Day and Father's Day, and also birthdays of my parents. So I used to be told that, you write well, so why not? And even in school assignments, I used to participate in writing competitions and all of these things related to writing. So my school was having an issue completely dedicated to them, like writing of only our students from our school was getting published on that day. So I participated in that, and mine got published. There were like about 300 entries or something sent, and some got published, like only 10 or something like that. So that made me more interested. I write a lot about child rights and duties. My first article the tagline was, are child rights equally important as child duties? I'll not talk about that because it's not interesting again. And again, I did not write after that because I didn't have the email or the contact of Times of India. I didn't know how to contact them. But then in 7th grade last year, they made a website, and I used to write for them. I used to write mostly about nature and the pandemic, of course. Like, I used to write about the emotional factors about the pandemic. Is it really necessary to get so scared about the coronavirus and everything like that? Okay, this is like very not personal because I have never contacted COVID, so I don't know if it's scary or not, but I just used to write, why are people getting so scared? It's just a virus. Back then it was something like that for me, but now I'm equally scared. Of course, the vaccine has come though. But then after that, I used to submit slam poetry a lot. 2020 was actually a little bit of like depressing, sad year. So I used to write about trees and everything. And I still remember that a tree in my society, like a big banyan tree, it just died of, I don't know why, like on a stormy night, it just died. So I wrote a poem about that, and they published that. It was I had sent like 9 or 10 poems to them, and only one out of them got published. And I was like just over the moon. So I thought poetry is something definitely for me. And yeah, I've been exploring all sorts of writing, and especially for Times of India, I do write about nature a lot, like nature, coronavirus, because it's just the present for the being. But then I don't know, in 2023 or something, I will definitely not write about that. But right now I'm just writing about nature and children, because I'm interested in learning and education. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. What are your duties? What role do you play being a green ambassador for Schneider Electric? Yeah.
Okay, Schneider India Electric once came to my school in 6th grade. Almost everything happened in 6th grade, actually. So as an ambassador for them, you will have to collect reports. I mean, you have to prepare a report on the consumption of electricity in your school. And also for the students, you will have to survey each and every student about how they consume electricity at their home. You will have to prepare an extensive report on that, and submit it to the officials of the company. And then they will also reevaluate your data, and you have to come up with ideas to reduce the consumption of electricity. And yeah, they also check that if your information is correct or not. So make sure you're very correct because they will check each and every file that you've submitted to them, and then they come to your school and then actually interview your school students and everyone. So it's kind of more very good to be accurate and check your information if that's right or not. Recheck with the student again and again. Yeah, that's an advice. But my role was, I was a part of the team. I was not like leading anything, but then there's every school has one team that sends the entire team gets sent to the conference that they host every year, and you have to present about the ideas you have to reduce the consumption of electricity, and they select the best ideas from that, and then they just try to implement them in the real world, because that's an electric company, so they try to reduce the volts and everything like that.
So yeah, one thing which I particularly find a lot of writers talking about, something which I closely notice is writing's help. Like you just need a piece of paper and pen, and you write all of your feelings and emotions down. So is that happen in your case too? Are you just writing for your duties and happiness, which I believe is not true? Please, okay. Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say, obviously.
Yes.
Now, does according to you, writing help people get over sadness, depression, or is it the best way to get all of your emotions and feelings down onto a piece of paper? What do you think?
It is definitely an effective way to get over feelings, like get over pain or depression or mental illness, because when you're writing, you just let out your thoughts and don't think about it again. And if you read your work again, you will definitely feel that depression again. But then if you just let it out and then maybe tear that paper or something, you will always feel lighter than you did before. And I think that's a very important thing. And it also helps. I have read articles people dealing depression through writing, and therapists offering writing as a remedy for dealing with depression or treating depression. But then yeah, meditation helps more than writing, but then I would not say that writing doesn't help, because journaling, it's so effective. I remember I still have my diaries from 3rd and 4th grade. So I think, and when I just read it again, I used to see what kind of a person I was then and how I have grown as a person now. So it makes you keep track of everything that has been happening in your life, and you also get over a few feelings, and you see the improvement in yourself when you write, and keep track of them. But then I would not say that keep the darkest writing, keep track of the darkest writing, because that's not important. You've just moved on from that phase in your life. So yeah, don't keep it.
Okay, so yeah, who is Dhanvi apart from her writing? For example, I behave as a different person in front of my family, in front of my friends. But I behave differently when I'm on a business call. Business call with me. An offer, right? That's for me. Let's say an opportunity, that's more better. So, yeah. What are the hobbies? How are you usually like me? I'm just always peeping around. So, yeah, go with it.
Okay, so some of the other things that I do apart from writing is songwriting, although that's a type of writing, and I also play the keyboard. Music has definitely been a big part of what I do, and it just unleashes my creativity. I also interact with other people, and that's something I enjoy. Just having conversations, like fun conversations with family, friends, anybody. So that's something else I enjoy.
Okay, that's similar to what I would do. Now, moving on. What are your future plans?
Okay, I have tons and tons and tons of future plans, to clear that out. But two of my main future plans are that there's this organization that I recently started out. It's called BizTalk Inc. It has a podcast, and we are dedicated to empowering student-led startups and organizations. Because when you are a student, it's definitely hard to find the resources to start up, because you don't have that much knowledge as somebody who has been in 20 years in the industry. And because everything technology, it's improving at scales that people have never seen before. So I think entrepreneurship is something that every student must pick up. Not must, but they can if they want, because it's a very interesting field to work on. And then I think that when I was starting out, I didn't have a team which could help me. But then having something already ready for somebody who is interested in doing that, interested in doing entrepreneurship, it really helps, and it boosts someone's confidence and the work they're putting onto the table. So I think we are dedicated to giving resources to people who are interested in entrepreneurship, especially students and teenagers. And the second thing that I'm very willing to do in the future is to work in the field of dyslexia and any other learning difficulties sector, because there's not much awareness in India, if you would ask me, about dealing with dyslexia, autism, and all of these different kinds of learning illnesses. Of course, it's very stigmatized in India. If you are someone who has dyslexia or any other kind of a learning difficulty, they see you as special, which is not something, because dyslexia can be cured. It can be cured. And I just want to create a conference of professors or students from UCLA, USC, MISH, because these are the best colleges in the world, and they have the best courses on dyslexia and all of these specialized courses that they offer. And people who learn from these kinds of places are very knowledgeable, and I think India needs this knowledge especially. Yes.
Actually, all the best for those, because listening to your plan, I feel like I should also plan something more mature, because as far as now, my future plans are very kiddish. You are, those comes with responsibility, which I totally agree. I'm not totally kiddish, or little some is on the mature side, but I really look up to whatever you said. As of that, and all the best. I'm pretty sure you'll achieve it, and people get awareness about this particular disease, which necessarily shouldn't be treated as a disease. India definitely needs a update, according to me, as like you mentioned as well. It definitely needs. So all the best to that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
With that, I want to sign off for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please do like, share, subscribe to the channel. Also click on the bell icon to get all the post notifications to get more updates from the first step. Comment down below if you have any more other suggestions, questions for us to answer. Follow our blog, follow our LinkedIn, follow our Instagram. And yeah, if you wish to be a youth ambassador, please do contact us through our link on our Instagram. Thank you so much. All of the links will be down in the description. Stay safe. Tada, bye. Signing off. This is me, Hasini LakshmiNarayanan, and Dhanvi here. Tada.